can't emphasize to you how much hand-wringing goes on in the boardrooms when you make a decision about taking a plane load of people into harm's way. So WXOP supports Hawaiian Airlines by providing logistics information to dispatch operations, specifically real-time weather and forecasts. We also integrate the archive data and provide that to dispatch operations for forensic analysis of accidents that happen. Not specifically with Hawaiian, because Hawaiian has not had any accidents. But we always are looking at other airlines, and there are many accidents to look at involving weather factors, and we will analyze that and make sure that dispatch operations and pilots and the executives of Hawaiian Airlines are aware of things that they can do to avoid similar situations. When you have a long-haul flight over the Pacific and the carts are in the aisle, if you hit a really severe, unpredicted CAT event, and it's true CAT, true clear air turbulence, then the carts will be on the ceiling. This has happened. We analyzed the National Transportation Safety Board's database since 1990 of over 3,000 accidents involving turbulence. We found 10 cases in which it was determined that we had potential for this kind of turbulence, and we could only determine if it really was free of clouds by going to the NCEI archive. We do appreciate NCEI efforts on this part. It's really something we count on. It fits into our budget because there's no cost to it, but except our labor and our time, which is considerable, because we have to go into the database and look at what are the climate situations, what are the prevailing winds, what is the likely case, how much time you're going to encounter rain, what's the cloud for a particular route when you make it. And it's a study that has to be done. It's fairly thorough. And then you forecast what the cost is going to be to operate on that route and how many days you're going to be deviating. It's a climate thing.
The National Transportation Safety Board is an independent federal organization that works at developing and finding the probable cause for transportation accidents across the United States. And we do that so that we can find ways to make things safer for transportation. The NCEI NEXRAD database is very valuable to our work in determining the forensic analysis and looking at the weather radar data that we're able to view on there, whether it's in 2D or 3D format. We find it very valuable. So the NTSB uses NCEI NEXRAD database in about 80 to 90% of our cases, again, to review all the factual data that we can find from the meteorology side, and reviewing the weather radar data is extremely important to us to be able to do that. And the NCEI database provides timely and helpful information there, so we're able to review the data quickly, and then from there determine how much we need to dig into the weather radar information for any particular accident or aviation incident that we see. So we use the NCEI NEXRAD database for the Alaska State Troopers accident, which happened back in 2013. This particular accident was a flight they took off from just north of Anchorage, and they were headed up to just east of Talkeetna to rescue a stranded snowmobiler. When they did that, they got into some snow squalls on the way back to land on the road to take this person to a hospital. And so I reviewed the NCEI NEXRAD database to be able to look at the precipitation targets, to be able to tell the timing of when the rain and snow showers were moving up the valley north of Anchorage, and to correlate that with the witness observations that we had. We had observations from witnesses talking about that they saw sleet conditions, that they saw heavy snow right at this particular point in time. And I was able to use the database to be able to see that yes, in fact, there were precipitation targets over the accident site at the same time. And so combining all that data together, we were able to issue the report from the meteorology side, and then we finished the investigation along with several other different components of the report. So the after accident investigation or incident investigation, the NTSB will issue recommendations to various companies, parties, or organizations, and we follow up with those companies after the recommendations are issued. Over 80% of our recommendations across all transportation modes are adopted in a positive manner.